We're releasing this episode early with Professor Rodrigo Medeiros. Enjoy!
Let it, bang, bang.
Guys, welcome back. Rolls and Rambles, episode 5. We've got Rodrigo Medeiros here. He's just come over to Hong Kong to do a bit of a seminar and some grading for our gym, Shanghai BJJ. And we've got Ollie here, who's probably out of the two of us have known Rodrigo the longest. So, Rodrigo, first of all, thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invitation.
Appreciate it.
Is it the correct way here?
Yeah, ask me a handshake. So I guess the main question is, tell us about how you started jiu-jitsu. What gave you the, what influenced you to begin the sport?
You know, I started judo actually. I had a really blessed childhood, you know. It's a very common thing in Rio. Even if you have the beach there and a lot of outside things to do, you know, during the day, and I was doing a lot of stuff during the day, but when I was very young, probably 3-4 years old, most of my day my father was working and my sister was already in school, so my mother and I would go to a club. It's like a sport club that's very common in Brazil, so it's really close to my house, called Clube Monte Líbano, a Lebanese Mount Club, and they have a branch in Rio, a branch in São Paulo. This club, I go there. I was doing a preschool there in the morning, getting out of preschool, and spending the whole day doing sports.
Nice.
So it was a very nice contact, you know, and not just with a bunch of kids together. So I was 3 years old, I was swimming. It was my first sport I was doing, you know, in the club. And after we eat all the good Lebanese food, and come back and the later nights doing football, then relax, rest, then one more sports. So I did a bunch of sports here, you know, kid, I did a bunch of sports. What really hit me was swimming, I always loved it. And soccer, of course, you know, like Brazil's day when every kid to play soccer, when I was pretty good too. And about 5 years old, 5 to 6, I started doing judo. And my judo coach, Professor Master Omar Brazil, he also was a very enthusiastic about jiu-jitsu. Back at that time, I was very, very limited, you know. So for the history of jiu-jitsu, they have a lot of publicity from the newspapers and, you know, all the media in Brazil on the 50s, a lot, you know, 60s, you know, like Ryan Eagle had some fights, you know, of course he put like a jiu-jitsu in a cover of all the main newspapers and, you know, journals. Then Carson. So when Carson stopped fighting, slowed down a little bit. So it was more like who was really in the sport, you know, more sport jiu-jitsu. So more like, you know, more like to challenge like that Eagle and Carson did, you know, like to prove jiu-jitsu the better martial arts. Jiu-jitsu already established, but kind of limited the sport for those who love the sports. And as they say, the access was very short because it was very expensive to go. It was only one kind in Central Rio. So, but usually people from other martial arts, they already knew about it. And this master, Omar, he always, you know, was judo, you know, he did a lot of judo stand up, and he do a lot of floor game too. You know, basic side control, mount, like controls, not too many submissions. But I always feel more comfortable on the floor than stand up.
Yeah.
Even if I was have one or two good throws, you know, 3 maybe combination, my floor, every time I was striking, you know, I was feeling more comfortable, you know, even if I'm unconscious on the floor. You know what I mean? So naturally, I was training, you know, I was like to go to the floor with the other kids because that's the part I was feeling more comfortable. So I remember that. So I did that for a long time. So when I was in club since I'm born until, you know, I was 16, 17 years old, you know, I was doing that probably every weekend, you know. Like when I was young, of course, it was every day, but I started going more every weekend. So then growing up, I had a lot of friends, and that exposed me to the sports. So they did a lot of inter-clubs competitions, some little state competitions, you know, like we did a Brazil team competition one time, you know, and all kids, and have fun, fight for a small medal and join, you know. So
How old were you when you started making the transition across from judo to?
So that's the point. Like my first idea about floor was in judo, because like again, jiu-jitsu back at that time, for that break they had it from the 50 and 60, was not popular anymore.
Right.
So I heard about jiu-jitsu, but it's not too clear. I was like considered like a more self-defense sport. You know what I mean? So judo was an Olympic sport, so it's the media, and
more focused
we had a lot more access. Usually,
Yeah.
back at that time it was only TV.
Mm-hmm.
Some sport programs in TV, so TV was very limited too. So that's what they teach there. It was teach judo, right? They had a karate too, like for another section. They had capoeira, and I tried many things there. Then you start going up. I probably training for more from 4 or 5 years old until I was like 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
Then I stopped. I started surfing a lot, and just become a teenager and doing a lot of stuff. Doing a lot of sports, and so I was like eventually went there and did some judo training for friends of mine, but nothing. I was like went over a little bit. So I stopped for probably 3 years, and surfing a lot. Changed a little bit my vision. Then one of my friends from childhood, he's probably like 4 years older than me or 5 years older than me. He was in the top students from Carson, and this guy, he's like was training Carson since he was a kid. He always spoke about Carson. His father's friend in Carson. Also, my father about Carson. My whole life was listening, of Carson history. Probably the first person I heard about Carson was him, and we grew up together in the same building. I was living in 202, he was living in 401, so it was a small building with four floors and 2 apartments per floor. And it was a very familiar resident neighborhood. And he started teaching. He got a brown belt for Carson and started teaching right next door to my house. It was like 2 minutes walking.
Nice.
And he starts at 7 in the morning, and simultaneously when Carson stopped black belts, but for that time, his name is Cássio Cardoso, was teaching nighttime. So I started training Professor Maneco, and I had a judo base, and I knew already what to do, and that hit me up like strong. I was 15, and going to the beach all the time, like in the sea already. I knew jiu-jitsu already, but if I was not training, my base was all judo. So I had a more understanding what jiu-jitsu was about. I fell in love right away, and right away it was making way easier for me because the floor background I had in judo, for years, 7 years training a lot judo, and but I never think about competing. I just did it for defend myself, to have fun, to do sports. So which maybe did like 7 in the morning, then after go to school or go surf, and so he teach there for 1986 until 1988, like 89. Then he lost the spots, but between that, he and Cássio, and I was training both places. I was doing my neck in the morning. I started pushing more training. With the time I started like increasing more days of training because I started becoming so passionate about it. And I was training like sometimes twice a day. And they eventually bring guys from Cássio to train there for them because Cássio is the number 1 guy from Cássio. My nephew was like, so a lot of guys from Cássio was visiting and started meeting these guys.
Yeah.
And eventually started going to Cássio to visit Cássio. Then they closed the place. The owner of the gym decided to, no more masses, put like a weight room here, so they lost the spots. So Cássio went to teaching, in different spots, and my nephew brought all his students to Carson. So I was introduced to really like an official Carson Academy. It was like the end of 1986, and from there, I started meeting all the boys and training, and my energy changed, from doing jiu-jitsu first for fun and hobby, and with my friends to now serious, and you feel the energy right away. That was the crazy part about the Carson Academy.
Carson's mindset is always competition. He's always pushing people to go that way, right?
He was giving more attention for those that like to compete, because all the history that he had before that, before the academy was open, the reason the academy was open was because of that.
Right.
So his academy always was, you know,
That has the players.
yeah. But something very important people don't know is on the academy, of course, now people in the world today know Carson Race Academy Copacabana because many names that came out from there, you know, amazing athletes, you know, from one roof. But let me tell you something, man. Carson had 200 students there. The 200 students, you know, was ready for any situation.
Right.
Any situation. You know, any Carson student, now white belt, going to any academy in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, man, they're gonna do a good job. If he need to defend himself on the street for somehow, they will know how to defend himself somehow. Everyone. And that was the biggest point there because when you start training them, man, that make you tough, you know, make you a man.
Yeah.
There's no way, you know, like it's a challenge every day, you know. So everything else will become easy, you know, competition, and I start competing. And I was training there in the morning sometimes with Carson Brace Jr., in the afternoon with Professor Marcelo Alonso. Then they change a schedule on one session in the morning, on one session in the afternoon. Then I started working, you know, you start working in clothing stores and studying at the same time. So I started like, you know, think myself. So basically I had all the sorts there. But Bolão, Sérgio Bolão was a guy that pushed me for competition. Now let's go, he's doing good now. So he had the best competitor guys from Carson because what happened was like 3 instructors, sometimes 4, in every one of your class.
Wow.
So even if you know you couldn't come in my Alonso class, but if you're junior students, junior is the one responsible to promote you. And with the time, you know, if you put him more one class, you know, everybody defends the name of Carson, you know, you with the, you know, you represent your professor. So basically when there's a competition, and back that time was only 2 competitions a year, 3 most, you know, like in the 80s, was not too many. And the qualifier that we had inside the academy was war. Because it was 4 guys from Marcelo Alonso, trained Marcelo Alonso, like Blue Belt featherweight, that was me. 4 guys from junior class, 4 guys from Bolão class. We all got together in the room one day, everybody fight each other, and we got to make like well, you 2 guys. And we tried to kill each other.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And this is to represent
the
competition.
Competition. For those that want to compete, because a lot didn't want to compete. You know, a lot of just train for there's so many names you guys not even heard about them. That was like incredible, just fighters. And there's now like compete one on time and not, but nothing was there just to the environment. You know?
Yeah. Amazing. And then how did you progress from there to going to San Diego with Carlson?
No, that's another story. You know, like so. I started training there, Carson, like you know, in like 1986, 88. It was my first competition. And then I was part of the team, but I still like my best for the whole process, you know, for the training and competition.
Yeah.
And Carson Academy, like we had like every on the summer, every weekend Saturday do like a stand-up training, and so as you guys know, the Carson always his jiu-jitsu was always a jiu-jitsu that's even if it was a very strong jiu-jitsu competition team, sport jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
His jiu-jitsu, in fact, was a jiu-jitsu that he wanted to make sure that's working in any situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you show the Carson a position that's for example, your face exposed, you're gonna say, okay, very good for sport, but if you're in the streets, someone punch your face, what do you do? So he was a kind of like position guards that say, okay, you can go close guard, you could protect your face, you could block, open guard, you could push out the guy, kick for a bottom, you know, some guys he didn't like.
Yeah.
You know, half the guard he never liked. He said, I block the guy, you know, that was a good position for the top guy, not for the bottom one. So he transferred to the top with the half guard, so they can open everything, start punching. But back at that time, of course, the half guard's not too evolved like it's today, of course. So, but he was very, he just working in situation.
Yeah.
So, all his students since he opened the academy, they always training no gi MMA every time, self-defense or the MMA. My generation, we do the self-defense a little bit. Even if we had some class, it was not like a frequent class because sport jiu-jitsu was taken so much time of everything.
Yeah.
And it was like right growing, people say getting sponsored, you know, like you know, and And that's it, you know. And after the Luta Livre Jiu-Jitsu challenge, man, the sport become giant in Brazil. So it's becoming very popular, you know, like most in Rio, of course. You know, Rio is like the pioneer for this strong jiu-jitsu. You know, all the Brazilian Championship, the winners all guys from Rio, Carson, Jacaré, there's Alliance today, Grace Barra Grace, you know, back in the time, in Grace like that. That's it. You know, a few other schools. Jorge Pereira was a very good school. You know, he had great cinema at the time. You know, then after just Luta Livre challenge, man, his sport just blew up. Because of that, we start to have a lot of negative, you know, media from few practitioners that was creating problem in the streets. You know, so. And the story I heard is older than that. I know that you guys probably heard about it, but Edo Grace had a problem back in the years in the 40s and the 50s with the owner of the biggest TV in Brazil. You know, he guys was the owner, and he never liked the Grace family just because of that. So there's, you know, any chance that the media, the main newspaper in Brazil, the main TV in Brazil, could talk about bad about jiu-jitsu, they do that. You know, so. When people do a mistake, boom, gonna be big news. Everything else doing positive for the society and everything else, you know, you just forgot. So basically, it was a popular sport, but it's like was, you know, competition was still only family. You know, if you want to take a picture of your father gonna be a cameras, no magazines. But slowly start progressing. So I was training a lot now. It's like I got my sponsor. Then. You know, I was like a very good, you know, my purple belt time was really good, you know, I got purple belts, I mean everything. I probably was like the best time of my life competing. Then I started like to have a lot of recognition, you know, like from anywhere, you know, like when the new kids coming, you know, like you know,
the one to watch.
Yeah, so people obviously knew it.
Yeah, then I got my brown belt. Then I fought the first world championship in 1996, I'm sorry. And
that was still in Brazil then, right?
First in Brazil, Copa Company. I was sponsored by the brand that sponsored the World Championship, Company Ciclone. I was one of the team fighters.
Wow.
You know, and it was great. So after that, and this tournament was like it made so fast. It didn't have too much schedule to do it. Was in January of 1996. So January is the highest summer in Brazil, man. We spent the whole New Year's, Christmas training, like in fought, it was amazing. So a week later, I decided, you know, my father, you know, gave it as a gift to me because I was finishing I was in university already, but he gave me as a gift. I went to California to visit a big friend of mine in Hawaii to surf and like, you know, just, you know, go to US, relax. For my first time in US actually. You know. And so Carson was just moved there with Vitor.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that's when the UFC was just getting going, right?
Yeah, UFC, it was, when I moved to the United States, it was the first world championship was January 1996.
Yep.
I moved in February. I went February, like
Straight
I arrived February 4, 1996. I arrived in the United States. Got off a crazy flight. People smoking in the flight.
Wow,
it was like
super
crazy,
long,
man.
man.
Like a bunch of kids. You know, as a day flight, you know, people stand up on an airplane and drink and listen to music. Like people, that time people smoking.
You could,
Different back then, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
I can't imagine a flight like that.
I went to spend 1 month. But Carson went 1 year before, 1995. He had a unsuccessful academy that he, you know, one manager. Let's go academy together, and it was like a fucking skin. You know, didn't work. So he made some contests. Said, "Oh no, I'm gonna open my own." And Vitor, that was my student. Vitor Belfort was my student at the Nova Geração. Oh, actually, I jumped that part. I had to come back here. So I had to come back a little bit. Let's come back and when I went to training across, then I got a purple belt. Then I was doing my preparation in the same gym that I started jiu-jitsu. That was right in corner of my house. The guy take off the mats and put the weight room, right? So I knew the owner, and me, Toke, and some kids from the neighborhood was working out there. We did the preparation there, like the bike, we got a personal trainer, so we started competing very serious.
Yeah.
So one day the owner came to me, hey, you want to put jiu-jitsu back here again?
Oh.
That was probably 4 years after they closed
Yeah.
the place. They use the space to the weight room. I said, okay. You guys want to teach you here? I never think about teaching you.
As a Pablo.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
Back at the time, we didn't see too much for belts teaching, like maybe assisting, I was assisting some class of Bolon already there, but nothing serious. I had my work, had my girlfriend, I was just thinking about competing. But it was a great opportunity because on the neighborhood was nobody, and we born and raised there, we're locals, everybody knew us. Me and Toko was like the two top kids from the neighborhood that were competing on the competition scene in the whole country. So I came back to Carson and spoke for him. Carson had this opportunity, but I don't know what to do. And he told me, I said, no, teach that, but teach Kelmer kids. That's okay. And the kids competing under Carson, our team here, He just gave the blast to me. But it started like a very adventure, what could go, And man, in 3 months I had 100 students.
Oh.
Wow. So that just says a lot about the popularity at that time as well, right?
Yeah.
But it was like and we're local kids, neighborhood people, everybody know already that we're competing, we're Brazilian, I was Brazilian champion already, I was Brazilian champion, I was state champion, Toko was state champion, a year after I won Brazilian championship again. So I got sponsored for the local business, like a jewelry store, so acai stores and clothes and everything. So everybody know me. I was training all day, running the beach, and I'm born and raised there. So all the kids from there, work, boom. And that was Nova Gerações created, then I came to the name.
Nova Geração is the new generation, right?
Yeah, I came to the name because I was all about what you're doing or teaching, and for kids, and I came to my father and said, we want to do this in the name of the Nova Geração, so I have an idea to make like a kid with the gi. Then my father, so I went to take a shower and I came back, the design was ready. My father did by hand, the baby with the diaper, the belts.
I always thought what the picture was.
That's it, right?
My father did
That's
that
so cool,
Yeah.
in front of me, he did like in 10 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's it, man. It's still the same design.
Yeah,
Nothing changed. The Nova Geração logo is still the same one. So I competed the first world championship. The Nova Geração was open ready. Then I went to the United States to spend 1 month. So I told Toke, man, hold there, we're meet Carson there, we're meeting our friend Duda. Then I
So
did
Vito
that.
was one of your students at Nova Geração?
Yeah, Vitor started training just for Nova Geração.
How old was he when he started?
He's training for me, he was 13.
Okay.
He was like an amazing athlete in general.
Yeah, he was beast, right?
And he did some jiu-jitsu before too, but nothing serious, but he was a really good tennis player. Bike cross, so his mother came to me and said, hey, I don't know, he was about that, so what do you think we should do, do more serious jiu-jitsu or tennis? I said, I don't know, asking what he wants, but he was very talented. And when he started to, just started to do boxing too, so he started getting better. Then the UFC came in 1993, everybody started heard about, and that sparked a few people, oh man, people started training more and more because you see coming,
Yeah.
And Vitor was a kid, he was already really good no gi, better than gi, since I always been better no gi than gi. If he was very good with jiu-jitsu, but no gi is always way better,
Yeah.
And he was very good with the hands. And he had this connection, he came to the United States with his mother, and he had some connection, then someone invited him to go to Open Academy in LA, and he came to Crash 1995, there was the fake academy, the guy with the skin.
Yeah.
So, right after the World Championship, Carson got back to the United States, and I went back right away after. So I went to Los Angeles, to San Diego, spent a few weeks in San Diego, then went to Vegas, then went to Hawaii. Then my last week, I went to LA, to do shopping and spend time with Carson between. Bought a lot of stuff and gifts for everybody. 2 days before I leave, we stayed in the living room like this, watch TV. And people said, man, why are you leaving? We're going to open that camera in 3 months, man. I'm going to need someone here to help us teach you. You're going to bring an instructor. was I gonna be training? I said, bro, I had my academy, I had my girlfriend there, everything there, I was had a girlfriend, family. The guy said,
It must be a tough decision, right?
yeah, no, it was like a surprise to know. It's funny because my whole life has been like this.
Right.
Enough was
It's kind of just
enough
the way
was
you
planned.
think,
Enough was planned. It just happened, and I had the courage to face
take
it.
the opportunities, right? Yeah.
You know, but it happened, and everything. Oh, I'm gonna train jiu-jitsu, be a professional, like, and everything else true. You know. So he invited me. I said, "Oh, seriously?" I said, "Yeah, stay here, man. We got a great idea." No, like And I remember thinking that day, I said, man, I never had a class with Carson. So that's very important. When I went to Carson Academy, Carson was really not teaching. He was a figure in the academy, all day shirts. Sometimes he could, show some position, but he was really like, he wasn't in charge of the team. He come in when the competition come, after they train a lot, when they go to the qualify inside the academy, that's when you show up.
Yeah.
And you see how to qualify, okay, you see you represent, boom, that's it. So that was the point now. And of course those are going to represent, give you a little bit more love, He can say, okay, so they put a hand right here, you're going to start doing the guard of the hand right here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I put a hand behind the neck, you put a hand right here. And that little detail changed the whole game. Whatever you're doing, you just see one little thing you could change and make better, and you get down too. But his presence was more important than anything else, man. His presence in the competitions. So when he invited me to be there, staying in LA, I said, man, I remember this, I said, man, I had the opportunity to stay with Carson for 1 year.
Wow.
So my initial idea is to stay for 1 year. And that's it, I never came back home. We're in 24 years now, in
San Diego, right?
24 years.
And the Carson was like one of the first gyms in San Diego, right? There was like when the Carlson opened his gym there. It was one of the first ones, right?
This academy was in LA.
Originally in LA.
Right. I'm in San Diego. This academy was in LA.
Okay.
La Cienega Boulevard, right next to Sunset Boulevard. Yeah, was back that time, Oli, was Machado Brothers. They were there like about 1992.
Yeah.
Like right before Ray Stars. They get about that 1992 too.
Yeah.
91, 92, right really before the UFC. Then few other academies. Hickson right there doing his own stuff. He opened his own academy, so Hickson. Then few guys, Joe Moreira, and few guys, man. Claudio França was taking Santa Cruz, Ralph just moved to San Francisco. The jiu-jitsu scene was just starting. You see few academy was not, in California was not too many. And other few guys like Pedro Sauer, Utah, I think Hans just moved to New York, so few guys started like immigrating and teaching, but it was very nice. The kind of world that you walk on the street and you say, oh, do you here? Oh, I teach jiu-jitsu. Oh, jiu-jitsu, like a karate. Like Krav Maga,
Everyone's thing back then, yeah.
Nobody knows.
Right.
Oh, what's that?
Everyone just knows Karate Kid or whatever from the
No.
movies.
So, it was an amazing experience. I passed the whole process to the academy, get builder. We helped the whole process. We put the mats together, make the whole construction together. The academy was open. The story of the academy is amazing because the academy was financially from one of the top directors of Warner Bros.
Oh,
nice.
And this guy was a martial art lover, and when he saw UFC, he said, "Fuck, man, where's this man? Like everybody, where's this guy come from? Like nobody believe how he did,
Right, yeah.
Martial art carried the old man, like skinny guy, being
Smashing
everybody.
these guys, yeah.
So he started studying about the Gracie family. And when he studied about the Gracie family, he found out Carson. Then so this is the guy. You know what I mean?
This is the guy back
Yeah,
in
we
the
should-
He found out the Carson was in LA.
Yeah.
And financial academy for
So
Carson.
he backed it, yeah.
Like with a carry like Ryan spot in Hollywood, man, and so once that camera opened, we had so much connection because he was there almost every day, bringing all kind of influence people from Los Angeles back at the time, actors, lawyers, investors. Then he found out that his name was forgot his name now. So give a blank now. He he fell in love with Vitor.
Yeah, yeah.
Then he started invite us to go to Aspen to train there, and he's like made octagon in his house to and John Peters. I'm sorry, John Peters.
Right.
And we went to Jets.
So was life kind of just crazy at that time? Just so many things happening, opportunities.
Yeah, but
popping
I was the one responsible to teaching. Basically, Vitor was training for MMA.
Yeah.
And of course, I was the one who sparred for him and trained for him because I had to much spar too. But I was most teaching too, so I was taking care of the academy and we lived together.
Yeah.
Same apartment, like me across from one room, Vitor, his girlfriend, another room. And they have 4 years and a half, and a lot of guys come visit us. But at one point, the guy say, so basically, like, the guy want to do a movie about Cashman's life. I want to do like a movie about Cashman's life. So basically, that's why he opened the academy. The rights to make a documentary or a movie about Cashman's life. But Cashman's the kind of guy that doesn't know. It's always hard to make a commitment for him. He was just like a easygoing.
Yeah.
The guy every time you give a contract to him, he loses a contract, drop water at the top, and the guy said, man, then the guy said, I'm gonna sign up my lawyer first. 6 months go by, oh, I lost it, give me another one. So it was a kind of funny guy. And me too, I didn't speak English so well, Vitor too, he almost started there, don't understand the system, So when the guy decided to stop financial academy, the academy survived about 2 or 3 months. So it was really hard. Carson and Vitor got back to Brazil. On that main point, had to put that Vitor fought his first UFC, his second UFC. Fought Trot Telemann and Scott Ferrer was the first one.
UFC 5, wasn't it? Yeah.
And right after UFC 7, I think he did fought Tank Abbott. I was there in his corner. So right after the academy closed, then one of my students, basically I was the guy in charge of the jiu-jitsu class. Joe Rowe was training for us there, and John Romano, a bunch of guys. Initially, first beginning jiu-jitsu there, man, was amazing. We had like every month someone guy come to challenge us there and test us there, because it was that time.
The whole dojo
film
sort of thing.
Yeah, every month. That was very common in every jiu-jitsu academy actually, not just mine, but people from all the martial arts coming out. What the fuck is that? We trained whatever 20 years. Imagine that happened. Between Kung Fu, Taekwondo, Karate, 20 years.
I think they're the guy.
I'm a little guy from Brazil and was small than everybody, and just choke out everybody. So the great shot you guys see, man, that happened every time. Because the Horror and Horse was the first one, and they have the vision to film everything, but it happened many times across the country. I had some footage.
Right.
And we all the time get attached, right? So the academy closed, and one of my students invited me to go open an academy, mine, the my name. I was a black belt. I got a black belt in the United States. When I moved there, I was still brown belt. Then I fought the Pan-American in 1996 as a brown belt. I won, and after that, I got my black belt. So I said, okay, let's do it. But I was between, I was already there like 2 years and a half, 3 years, and I said, man,
So the 1 year's already gone.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, so I said, man, I don't know, there's someone still there, so I had an opportunity to come back there, and
Were you looking to go back already when the gym was about to close? Were you thinking, I'm going to go back there?
Yes, but this guy came to me and said, Rodrigo, I want to open academy for you, so you can give you a chance to grow. And I was there, there's nobody. No, I was in East LA, in Whittier. So he opened a beautiful academy there, very nice, for Boston. So we keep the academy 1 year there, then we moved to La Habra, the neighborhood next door too. That's one of the property of his dad, they opened a nice gym there too. It was tough, because it was very far away. It was good for me, for my training, because I first moved to LA from here, when I go out every, not party too much, but everything was new for me. So I go, see concerts, get away, meet people. So I was a distraction. When I moved to East LA, to either La Habra, man, there's not too much to do at nighttime. It's nothing. There's more family there, was an area that the gang scene was pretty strong. Back that time, all the tension and for the gang scene. And I didn't, was a tough neighborhood. I said, so teaching, go home, teaching. I started training wrestling, I started training boxing there. So I learning a lot of stuff because I was all day at academy, so I was very in shape. I used to do a lot of fights, like super fights, and then I do a lot of events, local events, and few black belts only. So I did a lot of super fights, like John Moreira tournaments, Claudio França tournaments, the Cleber Luciano tournaments, and race events, so and that kind of started growing, but I said, okay, now kind of established, people from Carson to come there, event in the state, they come to train in my academy, Carson True come there to coach there, so become like at the headquarters. So, but I was not happy, in other points of my life. I was very far from everybody, man. For a long time I sleep in the academy.
Yeah.
Long time, so teach the whole day, people leave, I clean the mats.
Lonely.
Make you better.
Yeah.
Sleep right here.
Yeah.
So I was trying to save money, and make it, so maybe every other weekend I was going to San Diego to visit this friend of mine that I originally came in 1996 to see him. So he was studying there, and started to make friends there, man, and party and meet a lot of Brazilian people and surfing, so I love surf, man. And eventually, same thing, another opportunity came to my life. I was working out in the gym, and this person in the gym, as it was like a personalized workout, was a big gym, La Jolla, beautiful, but more to the owner, the guy's called Mark Davies. He's one of the triathlon guys, top guy, and it was more to personal training. It was his first gym, in California, La Jolla, to that conception. Okay, more personal training, more like not like an open gym, you can go in more workout. So there's a lot of athletes there, triathletes, water polo guys, runners, Then I was there training too. The guy said, man, I do some jiu-jitsu, I love it, I saw the heights, Why do you put jiu-jitsu? I said, well, I don't know, I'll start teaching here, So, and I had some, the mats, some breakup mats, and there was you connect, I had that. I said, well, let's do it, So I put the mats there, start class, 3-4 guys, and what I started doing, going to LA, to San Diego on Friday morning, teach Friday evening, Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, wake up, go drive back to La Habra.
Right.
Oh.
And hectic schedule, huh?
I started there for 3 years, then I added one more day in San Diego, so I started less in La Habra, more in San Diego now. Then I kind of rent a place in San Diego, La Habra is living in the academy, and there for 4 years, back and forth, every week. Teaching both days, then I started saving money and have a little bit more saving. Travel once a year, and between that I invited to fight in Abu Dhabi, the first event, the first one ever. ADCC, the first one, it was only guests.
Yeah.
And Sheikh Tahanoui and Nelson Monteiro was in charge, and they personally choose, who they want to. Yeah. And I wasn't selected by division, it was a big honor for me. So a lot of things started happening out of school. Then one point I got tired to the drive,
Yeah.
And I said, well, I sold my academy in La Habra to one of my students. And Kiko was there, he's teaching there.
Kiko was.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Kiko was my student from Loyolla. So since that first academy was really
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So after he followed me, I was there in the United States probably 4 years or 5 years, he followed me to visit me, he wanted to stay there, so he stayed with me. So I put him in charge of the academy.
He was helping to train some MMA guys as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the academy was nice, man. This was big, a lot of MMA guys, and this scenario started growing everywhere, right? So not just in Brazil, but in the United States, man, and I saw a lot of UFC grew up, so I have some brands related to Jiu-Jitsu and MMA. MMA name was created, BJJ name was created.
Yeah.
That's very important too, because when I moved there was first year people used the BJJ name because the lawsuit that Harlem created, he trademarked the name, so nobody could use it.
Right.
So, but that base was something that happened positive because BJJ was a way easier name to understand what it was about, right? And so I had a lot of local events, like King of Cage, everything started growing, so that's it, Then I moved to San Diego, was teaching this gym for a long time. Then in 2000, the gym that I have today, Victor came back to San Diego and one of our students now opened everything in there. But he came to Grand Open and never more came back. Came Grand Open, hey, bye, all the students, I'll go to Brazil, come back. In 6 months, they come back. And the guy called me, they flat, man, I cannot pay my bills no more. I said, what happened? I said, bro, the guy never come back here. We should put him best to teach me, two guys to help him.
Yeah.
But it didn't work. And I said, you want to take the gym off? No, because I was teaching already in the fitness, gym for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let's. So I bought the gym very cheap, man. And I can have about 30 students for San Diego right now. So everybody can get the gym, so you start there. That's it, it starts.
How long have you had that place now? I know you said
same place.
Yeah, so
Same place.
since that time, right?
Yep. Next year now will be 20 years.
20 years
Wow.
also, yeah.
Just grew and grew and grew.
And I'm very curious how from US then comes to Hong Kong.
So this gym San Diego
Yeah.
was become the number 1 gym in San Diego, probably top 3 in California. Not the facility, but the jiu-jitsu and
Came out, right?
yeah, both actually the one in La Habra too. There was a lot of good guys there, man. So when La Habra Academy was built, in 2-3 years, man, I already had a really strong white belt blue belt team. And the concept was all castle race competition. I was trying the guys to compete, to fight, everybody. It was just my vibe at that time, you know what I mean? No regrets at all. But for the business, it wasn't good. But I saw that you have a lot of prizes in the scenario. Every competition in LA, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, man, we have podium, top 3. So we started merging together the La Habra guys with the San Diego guys. So we have about 34 guys, amazing, and white belt. Mike Powell, Mike Powell's like a Ryan in the beginning.
Yeah, so it's all connecting.
It's
All the
all
dots.
connected.
Yeah.
So, and it's like a being scenario, so in order there, a lot of my students are getting graduated, both sides, a lot of people come from everywhere to train for us there, so so San Diego Academy become like
The main hub.
one headquarters of Jiu-Jitsu in California, so not just guys from our team, but when the Pan Am got back from Hawaii to California, there was 2002, I think. Yeah, 2002 or 2003. Every top guy that come to fight Pan Americans, black belt, Australian American, everyone.
So there was a go-to camp place to
Yeah,
train.
People come a week before, people say they'll train for me, so I was from you, I was like, man, amazing. Because I was a master already, I was 2003, 32, 33, but I started getting all these new guys there, so I still in good shape to fight, train everyone, so I started competing again. In Pan American level, I Jeff turned because since 96, for 96 the Pan Ams, then after was just local tournament. The first stage championship, West Open, but not from Jeff moved to Miami. Then they moved to
Long Beach.
No, to Hawaii, to Pan America. Pan America. It was the only tournament Jeff had in the United States, Pan America.
Right.
Okay. Then after they started doing nationals, the second tournament he started doing United States nationals. So nationals first built in 2000. We won actually 2002 was the first nationals. So we started a business scenario, the teams are getting together, strong. And one of my students was, my first students. Actually, he was a friend of mine already. He was my student originally from the academy La Jolla. He was the 30 guys came from La Jolla. And he was become my friend, and in a lot of aspects in my life. So he was moved out of United States to live in Singapore. That was 2010. And he's a big investor guy, he's been a bunch of different investment. He started to get involved there. And then when he saw the potential that Jiu-Jitsu Academy, Martial Arts Academy, and the Academy have here in Asia to grow up, to expand, because I was still very virgin here, still these days, still very, he said, man, I'm gonna open one something like this. So he had the model of Evolve, and he studied the area, and he was between Hong Kong, Macau, Taiwan, and Tokyo. Even he was living in Singapore. So he decided to go Hong Kong, and act was created based on that. So they came that year first, and he met the other guy, and then Cole. There was training in Evolve. They spoke together. Oh, man, if you had this idea, oh great, let's do it. So Caique was the guy who's coming to the money. Cole was the guy coming to the knowledge to manage, and they decided to do it in Hong Kong. So they came to San Diego. That was in June 2011, and came to talk to me one day. Cole came down there to know me, but not invite to come. They came to have my advice to who they should bring there. And they have a very big vision. So they already someone big there, here, right? I gave them some names. I said, man, this guy maybe I thought, someone that don't have a Academy, or the Academy, is not too successful, but it's a big name, or. So they think I'm bringing Hickson, but I said, bro, be ready to be ready. Because, you're ready, it's okay. I can try to find his contact for you or whatever. What about this guy? What about this guy? Then on this conversation, I said, man, you have to find someone that is committed to do it. There's no family. It's hard,
Everyone's got their own projects going.
Yeah. But because of that conversation, I remember that night, Cole sent my message, yeah, what about you? I've been sick of you. You think you do it? You ever think about it? I said, maybe. I never think about it. From that day to day, I never think about it. Then I told my wife, I said, listen, Kevin and this guy, they think I'm going to open a cabin in Hong Kong, we might can go there. I said, let's see what they want to propose. And I couldn't say no for the proposal, So I told Cole, maybe I can be open to do it. What's the proposal? What are you going to do it? And it was beautiful. And I was like, wow, something that's, I never had a chance to grow up, financially and to something like this in the United States. But most important was the product, because I knew that it was my only chance in my life to become part of something really big since the beginning. Since the beginning, if they had a place already, they had a location already, everything. When I decided to go, that was 6 months before I really moved to here. I was ready to think about the plan, the plan together, blah 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 blah, And I many times I told them, you sure to be like this for start? I don't know, from my experience, and let's start small. Even if they know I Evolve story, they start small and they grow up after. But I told them just for experience, Just I give some tips about things, but then my work is to make the program, from a program I was planning to have there. Initially was on jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, that's it. Then to find instructors, and we did that. I was the one in charge, except they got two guys from the Thai guys from Muay Thai. And Vuzi actually.
Yeah.
Vuzi was here already.
So they all did the Asia Contender series, right?
What's up?
They were all on the show. Mosi, Lucy, and those guys
That's
did
right.
the Asia Contender,
right. That's
and,
right.
and the Thai brothers,
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but
They-
Tom wasn't here yet.
Tom wasn't.
Was the two other Thailand guys that they
Yeah,
came in?
oh, yeah, the
but
first
they
one.
speak any English, man.
Yeah.
But they stay here for 1 month. They couldn't.
Yeah, they
speak
couldn't
any
hack it,
English,
right?
I guess it's people.
This is before Tom.
So Tom came first.
Yeah.
But like Rod was saying, there was 2 other guys before Tom.
But they just couldn't do it
Yeah,
for
they,
English.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they couldn't really work with the members.
Hong Kong was a wise choice, I think, just because with Tokyo you've got such a big judo background.
Yeah, it's hard to make a dent in that scene. Right?
Taiwan, I'm not sure at the time.
Yeah.
I think Hong Kong was a wise choice actually. There's so many expats working.
Yeah, it was and I spoke to my wife, man. My daughter was very, very young, and just to miss one point here. My daughter was just 1 year and a half, right? And I remember, like, right after I had this proposal, I was very committed to change the way. I was not happy the way my academy was in San Diego. Because, like I told you guys, I can become a reference of Jiu-Jitsu in California. Very competitive academy. You won the US national 6 times straight, 6 years straight.
Wow.
You won the Pan American 2011 as novice. And that's for one roof. 80% for one roof and the other 20% for a few guys from the other schools.
Right.
But, we never turned. It was like a sweeping everything in California.
Nice.
But my academy was just like Castaway's Academy Copacabana. It's just in Pacific Beach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was looked like a old downtown gym on the beach. And financial was bad, man. As my daughter just born, I was like, man, not happy, and like I said, I'm not progressing, half of my students don't pay the academy, put a logo on the mat, I put more trophies in my academy that don't make me any. And the most important was, I was scaring the general public. So I was very limited for what public I should,
Yeah, so I suppose they kind of saw it quite intimidating.
It was a wrong vision. There was some vision Castro had. Castro was the same thing, man.
Just a gym to train.
Castro was probably the number 1 guy in Jiu-Jitsu.
The image associated to it, right?
The Castro was the guy that opened Jiu-Jitsu for the public. He had an army, on the roof. It was like on the one academy. He dominated Jiu-Jitsu there for 30 years, one roof. But today, big teams have 100 schools. Then you get 4 or 5 guys best for each school. Then they make it a team.
Yeah.
Castro was one roof. Everybody in the same group. But man, he died with $300 in his pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was a guy that's all about competition. And that was his vibe. And that was the same vibe. That was the same, I have to change a little bit because I was watching Jiu-Jitsu grow in California. And a lot of people with not any title, no in competition, nothing, not strong team as a competitor, but the guys with 300 students. Kids, families, saying, why don't I have him in my academy? And I started like watching and seeing my mistakes. Now I spoke with my wife and feel more close to me. I said, I need to change. So this invitation to come to Hong Kong was right on time. So I said, every time I'm gonna do a remodel, then I'm gonna, move to Hong Kong and see what happens.
Do this project.
And what's that? What happened? I lost 80% of my competitor guys who trained other team because I wasn't there. I just charged everybody. So basically cleaning up the academy, and I changed also my vibe. I was not vibe to competition. I was vibe more to open just 21. And when I moved here, I left my instructors there, Stefano, my brother, Chris Cowboy, Richard. They did a great job to maintain. And I told them I went this way now, I do more family, more kids, and they start building slow, the family environment. So when I got back, I was right like there, I just had to keep the path, and I come these days like this, You have a few guys still competing. I still compete because it's my blood, but basically is what you should be.
Yeah, it's
open for anyone that need it for whatever you do. And we do just to be a world champion, we do world champion. All you guys here have different, you're professional, you guys still love Jiu-Jitsu. And for your way, somehow Jiu-Jitsu benefits your life. And that's what should be, not should be for competitors. In Castro always told me that. Say, hey, teach Jiu-Jitsu for a strong, tough guy, man, can follow martial art. No, it's easy. Easy. A guy like, with physics, whatever. A guy based on martial arts. Honestly, you train either too. They grace always say that. They try to train for the weak one, they want to be bullying, they want to look down, look in the face, they have fear, that's the one you want to treat, right? That's true.
It's amazing how they change, right?
It's incredible. Today I see this every day in my camera, and everywhere I teach, everywhere I go to teach all over the world, I see people like that, man. It's crazy how families teaching to train together, the whole family train together, enjoy together, involved in the sport together, and have the benefits for the sport, and it's amazing. When you walk into the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, you all walk for a different reason. You don't know the reason, but whatever reason you walk, you're gonna have an answer for that.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have a benefit for that.
Is that the kind of vision you had for Epic as well? You wanted it to kind of incorporate the whole. You wanted a strong team, but then you wanted it to be welcoming for everyone. Is that the?
Had to be that way. Had to be that way. You know, like of course, as a jiu-jitsu, they want to need to have a team here in Asia because it was starting.
Mm-hmm.
But same time, we had to have class for business people and bankers, you know, like you know, and
That was most of
by
Epic.
nature
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
right?
That's
exactly.
most of the people who ended up training at
Yeah.
Epic, right?
Yeah.
They're professional people.
but yeah, we did all the programs in Epic, man, and started working pretty well. But didn't work the way they want. You know, they think that was gonna be it because of what they thought. To say, oh, at one point was Epic as the facility man and all the programs we had there, even the instructor we had there was all really good. You know, like first time in Hong Kong, actually probably in Asia, there was 4 black belts on the mats.
So who did you have at the time? It was yourself.
Silver Braga, he
Silver
was
Braga,
here
yeah.
already. He was a Pelnese in Hong Kong,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew he had a lot of friends in common, but I never even know him personal. Then when I invited him, you know, we did a FaceTime, and I found love the guy right away. He became my friend right away, FaceTime. And he was here already. He was very open for me. He told me everything about Hong Kong, and I brought that to Kevin. You know, I got no, don't worry, blah blah. Cole know what he's doing. You know, the Cole was the manager guy. You know, but they didn't know, not because he was a bad manager or something, but man, there was the history here, you know, of things was going on here before that. You know, all the gym was closing. The guy closed the gym over the night and moved to Thailand with the whole money. And so people here were like, oh, no, again, it is the culture.
Yeah.
And also really tough to do business. And the biggest mistake, in my opinion, that was Paul and Kevin and Cole, was to open a place so big first before I have a foundation.
Start
Yeah.
small, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This kind of
Start small and grow.
it is a risk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
you gamble right there, brother.
Right.
You know, you have to start small. Any business, start small, then you expand.
Yeah.
And then you see how people respond and expand, and you fix one thing, the other.
Especially when it's like this is a relatively new market for jiu-jitsu, right?
Exactly.
Like, especially
Exactly.
back then.
So
There's more and more
open
gyms now.
2011, right? Yeah.
2012.
2012.
Yeah.
And so even then, the price of every property was just going higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, that was
just
boom time, right?
And smack bang in Central as well. Just
Yeah, the location was spectacular.
Location was
Yeah,
amazing.
they rent us over 100 grand a month.
Yeah.
Contracts, leasing, no,
US.
contracts,
Yeah. US.
and you know, and 4 years contract. The contract got 4 years, raising, like stupid crazy. And as you guys know, all the business units, like the owners don't fucking care, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't wanna pay? Bye.
Yeah.
That is still closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
How long?
no more than
2
that.
years.
Yeah.
2 years, the place is still open. And so the guy, instead of receiving $100,000 a month,
They don't care.
or drop the price for, you know, because make us still be there, they don't care. Bye bye. That's
Yeah.
all. That's how business working here now. So it's hard right now to do it.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong since day one. And then when the grand opening, Silvio told me that. I said, nah, I'm gonna work. So we'll talk about it. The grand is beautiful. And it was amazing because when I moved here was exactly like a month before the grand opening. I saw the whole construction, we see no mess, they still doing the walls, you know, I have a footage of filming, they put the signs. So I see that everything that I know.
It's never gonna be ready.
You know,
Yeah.
you know, but you know, it's out in my head, no, it's still a lot, no, we're going on my bed. Overnight, come back, I was like, boom, you know.
Yeah.
People
Right.
working overnight, and you know, all the problems that was happening. And they forgot like the most important, the marketing, and you know, find the right people to sell, you know, like so the beginning, even the camp was beautiful, was a lot of small little problems that couldn't be fixed, could be resolved before open, but no, it is what it is, you know, and you guys know the rest of the story.
Yeah. But what I love is that this is, I think, my third year here, and I've had the honour to be at your seminars every time you come, and you kind of still ingrain that culture of you'll always kind of be here for your team, regardless of where you are in the world. You'll always come back. This will always be part of your.
No, definitely.
And that's really good.
You know, I told you guys, listen, still just here growing, and you know, the truth is like in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we're the partners, you know, and so was Professor Taki here, Thomas fan, Henry was, you know, I think Taki here was the even black belt. Then Stu was here, you know, the first Brazilian black belt in the Caporal. And I saw the same thing in the United States, you know, I saw, and not only here in the United States, I saw that all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, I
And now
saw
there's something like 15 jiu-jitsu gyms in Hong Kong. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
But this process is going on, is global, you know, like, so when about 2001, I started traveling all over the world to jiu-jitsu, you know. Went to Europe with a backpack, man. Greece, I got a flight to London, then London go to Slovakia, Slovakia go to
I think it's the first time I met you was in London, Castle in London.
Castle in London. First time I was there,
Yeah.
the professor was brown belt, Uruguayo, that's Uruguayo. Or just guys black belt, I remember. But Dick
Dickie,
and Simon, the
Wilson.
purple, actually blue belt, both blue belts. Then I got purple, I saw the whole process and still, you know, still growing up. Then when I left, we used to take over the place, you know, like was still like everywhere. Like everywhere, you know, like I was going to Greece, to Crete Island. I was not even a school there.
Yeah.
To teach two guys, two professors in Taekwondo, like in Brazil Taekwondo, they were learning jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
So they flew me there for like probably 10 years. I spent like 3 weeks there, teachers there every day, 3 hours a day.
Amazing.
And they film everything, and they practice the whole year. You know, and basically there was a lot of places where it starts, you know.
Yeah.
So it was one academy in Athens, something a guy purple belt from somewhere teaching, you know, there. And it was like this, you know. There it started growing. First time I went to Ireland. You know,
Yeah.
our team is very strong in Ireland right now. You know,
They do really well in Europeans,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
actually, hi to the boys in Ireland.
Shout
My
out to
mates,
Ireland.
you know, Andy Ryan, Fergal, you know, so first time I went to Ireland was 2002 or 1. I taught in John Kavanagh Academy, you know, he was a purple belt, probably for 10 guys.
The
I did a-
SBG guys, right?
No, it was not SBG, it was
Well,
a
then,
gym.
yeah.
He had same thing, he put a mask on the floor,
Yeah.
and, you know, John Kavanagh was a pro belt, he was under SBG already.
Right.
Very, a lot of respect for him because he still
Still going, right?
still
Yeah.
use
strong.
SBG name, and
Yeah.
even if it's not a strong academy team, you know, but he's still honored there. You know? A lot of respect for John because that, you know, become very famous, you know, him and Conor McGregor, but
Conor
still
McGregor,
that
yeah.
doesn't, I don't know, he opened my own name now. No, he's just opened really amazing location here. See it?
I haven't seen it yet. That's awesome.
Actually, I don't actually didn't open. He posted something, sent to me a layout, the kind of the design.
Ah, yeah.
But it's kind of yes, it would be like a.
The render, yeah. No.
Concept, yeah.
Yeah.
And was like 10 guys today, man. Go to Ireland.
Mm.
Just everywhere, man. Irish Open, you know, W Open, MGF, man. Like, you know, top guys here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like one of the best MMA fighters in the world come from there. You know.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere in the world, like this.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere.
So aside from jiu-jitsu, what do you like to do in your spare time? So I know you're a surfer, and then Ollie mentioned to me you're a big fan of rock and roll
Concerts.
concerts.
I like all the music. I like all the music. I've been.
You follow Rod's playlist on Spotify.
Oh, is he?
Check it out. Yeah.
That's some good one.
Yeah.
No, surfing started before jiu-jitsu. Yeah, surfing like because I grew up in a neighborhood in Rio, Leblon, and when I was a kid, it was amazing waves here.
Yeah.
Amazing waves, you know. Like, so I come from a time. I remember I started surfing. It was prohibited.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had a friend during the
Like
day.
counterculture time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You know, I was a friend during the day that you could surf because they say it was dangerous. You could hit someone.
Oh, the flag, right? Yeah, right.
So if you surf like for example 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and it's gonna come like a little truck with the police, you know, some guys walking the beach and some boat, you know, on the ocean to catch them, take a board and never see a board again.
Oh, wow.
You know, that was my time. So I remember like when you surf, all the kids surfing, when you see the little truck coming, everybody's running away, man, to the street and running away, you know, running for the beach before they see coming. It was so you could see all the surfers running, and it's, you know, so it's a lot of streets like this, right? right? It's like people like from there for the
See all these boards.
for the yeah for the South Side Leblon, South Pontão Leblon. Oh man, that's about whistle. Was amazing.
Yeah, even have an internal signal.
And the amazing,
Yeah,
and,
right.
surf, and the waves was amazing. So, man, summer surfing all day on the Alberta beach, surfing, playing soccer, you know. So I never actually stopped, you know, to surf more consistent, like when I surf in Gis a lot, to surf more in the weekend, blah blah. But it's always in my blood, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the reason, you know.
So you still surf
Oh, yeah.
to this day? Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, San Diego's perfect, right?
Yeah, amazing. The music, man, like, you know, in Brazil is very rich in music. Very rich in music, you know, like, grew up with music all over us, you know, like, I remember my parents, like, since kid, you know, like, carnival time, samba all day, you know, like, you know, on home, like, samba,
A lot of live
schools,
music everywhere.
you know, my father, I remember have a perfect film in my head, my father and my mother doing burgers in my house, dancing, you know, like, listening BBGs, you remember Saturday night,
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, we
Yeah.
don't La Volta, I remember like Ryan Savage, you know, I remember that it's dancing and dressing, you know. So I always like music. I always like rock and roll. And 1982, I started listening more rock and roll. I started just for rock and roll, it was like a heavy metal, like, you know, it's like, wow, and I love it, like, wow. And basically I was listening all day, you know. And 1982 was my first rock concert, Van Halen. 1984, Kiss. And 1985 was Rock in Rio. So I saw, I was like 14 years old, you know, left my house 10 a.m. in the morning and get back home like next day, like 5 a.m. 5 a.m. I remember I was there the first day of Rock in Rio, you know, was the biggest concert ever happened in South America. Was like compared to Woodstock.
It's like 100,000 plus people.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, 100,000 plus people.
Insane.
First day,
Yeah.
it was January 11, 1985. So the list, I forgot the whole list, but Iron Maiden,
Wow.
Scorpions, and Queen. Okay?
Really?
And that was like the January 11. January 15 was AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne.
Wow.
Black Sabbath or just Ozzy
Huh?
Osbourne?
He was in Black Sabbath then, right?
No,
He was-
Ozzy
he was okay.
Osbourne.
Yeah.
And in 16 was Def Leppard, and so in 19 I played all the rock bands together.
Wow.
Same night. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Ozzy, Scorpions, White Snake, Queen, Def Leppard. You know, whole day, man, it was like that.
Man.
So, was incredible. And I said, wow. Then I had a chance, you know, on the event, Rock in Rio, 1985. One day I was going to the beach, to surf, and we surfed right in front of our hotel. My beach, the street that I'm born in Leblon was a big hotel right there called Marina Hotel. And I saw a buzz in front of the hotel, a lot of reporters said, oh, probably someone Rock in Rio, because Rock in Rio was like every day was one kind of rock. One day it was like say red metal, one day it was like pop rock, one day it was like, so it was a bunch of, this first edition was like James Taylor, B-52s, who else was playing there? Tina Turner played after. So, but it was like a bunch of guys. Then I walked through, the guy says, the next guy, oh, New Young played. The next guy, who's there? The guy said, oh, something Young. I said, Young? I said, New Young? I said, man. After Young, then I saw a friend of mine inside the hotel with a poster, and when he turned, he said, I don't believe they're here. And they were there having breakfast.
Whoa.
So I sneak in, me and a few friends, man, and I had a piece of paper, hug Angus Young, Malcolm Young, Brian Johnson, Phil Rudd, Cliff Williams, other guys. I was like some guy took a picture, I never saw a picture in my life, and some guy, I was like me, 3 or 4 friends, man, and some guy who was in a hotel there, he went on a camera, took a picture, and I saw this picture in my life. But I had an autograph them for like 4
If you have that picture, Rod wants a copy.
Yes.
Please, man. Fuck. I love to see that.
Awesome.
But it was like a unique, and I always, I never like to go nightclubs, and I never like too much. I've been whenever I had my time, but I never was like a But concert, my friend, I'm PhD. I've been every, since I moved to the United States, man, I saw most of all the big concerts I had in Brazil.
You were like Sunset Strip, right? You went to a whole bunch of Rainbow and stuff.
No, that wasn't when I moved to the United States. No, when I was in Brazil.
Yeah.
When I was in Brazil until 1995, only, from 85 to 95, I saw every single concert was playing there.
Amazing.
Not just rock and roll, okay? That's very important too. Like, I love rock and roll, like it's my favorite genre of music, but I love reggae, I love blues, like some jazz, I love rip rock, some ones, so I always been very involved in music my whole life,
Do you yourself play any instrument?
No, that's something that I regret a lot, man. I had a guitar when I was young, like an acoustic guitar, and I had some class for 1 or 2 years, but I started playing just too much, my fingers started hurting, and I started putting it aside, so
with your daughter, is that something you want her to get into, a bit of music?
she's playing a lot of piano.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Since she's 5, and she loves to play very well. Actually, just had a recital last week, went together. She's really good. For sure, both of my kids are going to play, some instrument. It's easier to have access to, it's easier to have, class, and they love music, I play music for them all the time, probably I should be pushing a bit more, but,
They'll get there.
Yeah.
Kids learn everything. It's actually super humbling. I didn't actually know your situation from starting off in kind of Brazil, then getting the opportunity to then move to LA, and then to San Diego, where things weren't as successful as you would like it to be, and then Hong Kong came along. And actually, it's a really nice story, actually.
yeah.
And like you said, everything kind of fell into place. You take those opportunities when they come around.
Yep.
That's really.
And it's funny part because, like I said, nothing was planned. Nothing was planned. For sure, when I moved to United States, my jiu-jitsu, I lost a lot because I wasn't on top of my level as a competitor. I just fought the world championship as a brown belt. And I was competing every single term in Brazil since I started training in Carson. Since 2 years out of training, since 1988, I was competing every term, state, Brazilian championship, every all the time on top of my division. And when I moved to the United States, man, I become more like teaching all day, not too many competition, was studying. So I lost that because right now I supposed to get a black belt.
Yeah.
So I went back to Brazil in 2000 to fight the world championship as a black belt. It's the only one I did in adult. So that part is something that sometimes I hurt me, man, because
if you focus more on that.
I was more teaching, be careful the academy, be careful the academy, then because the academy closed, I was moved to my own academy, because I was self-training, self-teaching.
Yeah.
It was like, even when I fought Abu Dhabi, man, I had the news 2 weeks before.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I take off the gi, train all my wrestling students, Javier Vaz, Johnny Ramirez, that's it. I trained no one from my teammates, because everybody was based in Brazil. I was the only one there. Me and Rei Diogo was in Venice, and I was in La Habra. And Alan Walsh, Newport Beach. So we sometimes get together, but we're all very busy with the own academy. So some guys do more MMA, but it was not that everyday training cost with the headquarters. I lost that.
Yeah.
And that made me lose my little time in the black belt, to be in a more, be more like in a high spot.
You probably had by choosing that option to go do the more teaching route, you probably impacted way more people that way.
Yeah.
I know, definitely,
That's
for sure,
true.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. No doubt about that, and I don't regret that part. I just like to try to travel more back to Brazil to compete more there, but I was so busy and I was expensive to buy tickets back at the time. And I was not making too much money.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of one of those accolades you wish you could have achieved, but then you had to make that decision what you wanted to do at the time.
Yeah, and so that's it. Then I start competing again on Pan Ams, and when I come back to the United States, and
what was your greatest moment in jiu-jitsu or greatest match you had?
bro,
The one that you always remember,
Brazilian Championship 1993 as a purple belt. As a purple belt, as a not black belt, Brazilian Championship 1993. I did 6 fights, 6 submissions.
Nice.
Well, what did you get?
Featherweight purple belts, and back at that time, purple belt purple belt was, okay, on that tournament. So these guys have Nino Chambry, Draculino, Ray Diogo, Daniel Gracie,
all the
you
legends.
know,
Radio.
Soca, you know, Renato Tavares, you know, Parrupinha, like, you know, like everybody was purple belt at that time. You know, who else? A lot more good guys. Jamelão, you know, da Conceição Jamelão, Paulo Guilherme, and I was voted the most technical athlete of the purple belt division. Again, I won a big plate that was handed from me from Carlos Grace's sir.
Wow.
You know, it's the only time in my life I saw him. He handed to me, said congratulations, you know, and I regret I didn't take a picture, but it's in my memory. You know,
Maybe someone has a picture.
yeah, and the plate is in my wall there.
Nice.
And I won the competition, so that was for me like a big step, you know. And after that, it's been like about 3 years without losing,
Wow.
you know. And actually, I was like a year already without losing, so I was like really, you know. Clever Luciano, you know, was in my division too. I didn't fight him that day, but he was my division. Guilherme Assad, I did the final for him, guy from De La Rio, a very top guy. It was amazing, man, like, you know. And black belts, black belt is so many, man. They're more like the challenge I have, you know, but probably Abu Dhabi DCC, 1998.
Mm.
You know, I fought the hands on the same, you know, like a 20 minutes match.
Whoa.
You know.
It's a long time.
Against Henzo.
Henzo Gracie.
Yeah, cheers.
Amazing.
That's really good.
Wow. Yeah. Anything else? I think that's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah, I mean, plants a lot of dots for me, and it's really inspiring actually.
Yeah, because jiu-jitsu is kind of still new for you, right?
Yeah, super new. I started 1.5 years ago, and
Yeah.
no intention to stop. But
Yeah.
it's very interesting to know how it spread to Asia, like especially in Hong Kong, how it actually started in Hong Kong, and yeah, overall the storyline is really amazing to actually see. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the sports is magic, man. Jiu-jitsu, you know, like I said, I've been doing a lot of sports in my life. Some was more time than the others, but you know, as a kid, did a lot of sports. I always been an athlete, you know, always, you know. But jiu-jitsu has the little magic, the little bug that comes from the beginning, and that bug hit first Carlos Gracie, sir, when he learned from Maeda, you know, because that confidence gives you, and the feeling of creation too, that everybody has, right? You know, is unique. You know what I mean?
It's
unique.
super addictive.
It's
Yeah,
unique.
yeah,
You know,
it
yeah.
is, yeah.
The secure guys are gonna be like, oh, if
I'm able to
you
do
must
this.
secure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I sorry for gonna say something crazy, but I really think that all the human beings in the world do jiu-jitsu, they will be a way better place. You know.
And it has
I agree.
And I'm so old school that, you know, today I always see all this fucking politics, man, and all these fucking dramas between, you know, everything else, you know, in the world, and we are the hand of
but it's
these
true,
suckers, you know.
It does create a different kind of connection actually, especially in our gym. The
Yeah,
way
like
they were
Rod
kind
says, you're giving someone else's life into your hands, and it's such a contact sport.
yeah.
And
For me, everything should be resolved in a match. You know, that's the way I see life. Especially, you know, like if Trump have any problem with someone, my friend,
A lot of
you know,
the ego-driven
you know,
stuff, like
you know,
Trump stuff, that just disappears.
what the matter is over, you know, what the matter is over. You don't have to put everybody's lives in danger because
Right.
your own ego, you know.
Yeah.
Because here's no space for ego. You get right here, my friend. You know, it's just like life. Have good days, bad days, man. You're gonna, you know, and if you don't tap, you're gonna hurt yourself. So that make you very humble. That power that you have to control someone can really hurt someone, you know, or someone can hurt you, or not help defend themselves, or not to hurt you, man, is unique. You know, and every human being should feel that,
Mm.
you know.
And I think ultimately also understanding your limits.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's super powerful.
Definitely,
Like, I don't think you can ever evaluate in your day to day. Where's your limits?
Like, yeah, you're not getting tested, no one's checking you.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
And you have to be hybrid, right? Because how old are you now?
28.
Yeah. So wait it when you get 20 years from now, then you're gonna see, you know, in my position, and then you're gonna see, you're gonna change everything, you know, because you're gonna have to learn all the stuff that you don't have to worry about right now, you know. You know what I mean? So it's always you always changing,
Yeah.
and that's a cool part too, because and that's the way I see jiu-jitsu, man. For me, it's not Never been. When I started jiu-jitsu, I never stopped in my life. I never stopped. You know. And today, because I've been doing it for a long time, it's incorporated in my life. Almost 3 or 4 of my lives. Except last night, this guy didn't whiskey. But almost,
99.
Yeah, what I choose to eat, man, my diet, and the way I treat my kids, my wife. Now, of course, I'm not perfect. Now I still have but it's really incorporated in my life. I think that perfection is like and Neil Gracie, he reached there. He's the only one reached there by far. That I know. Probably I'd wanna be, maybe not unjust here, but that I heard. But he is a samurai now. The way he see like a relation with woman, relation with food, the way he sees jiu-jitsu was like, he was right here, right? Carlos should, Carlos should. But Carlos was more mental. But this is like something that is very powerful, man.
Yeah.
And it's unique, man. It's like it's a unique sport because of that, and the power to be creative too. That's really cool, Anyone can show something, anyone can come up with something new.
Yeah.
It's not
evolving.
It's not like an automatic. Or do this. It's not never been, And most martial arts are automatic.
Yeah.
A lot of martial arts,
Do some kata.
Yeah, you do something for years, man. Maybe they got stronger, faster. That's it. Jiu-jitsu doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, man, you do something great today. You're gonna work for a few times because someone gonna find a way to block.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing thing, right? You still, even when we had that seminar on Saturday, there were things that for example, you yourself didn't know so much about the knee bar, and then you're still constantly learning about little details, things are changing, and I think you don't really get that in other martial arts. It's like you said, it's usually one path.
Yeah.
Whereas jiu-jitsu is like, I think I described it last time. It's like a tree, right?
Yeah.
So many branches.
Yeah, you don't say that, but he always say that in one lifetime you don't learn everything. It's true.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
No, not learning and even doing, right? Because I can show you a lot of position, but usually when I train, don't come to my head.
Yeah.
They can come to you, but and that's the cool about too. It's a game that is so.
You can choose. This is what's for me.
And with the time of training, there's some position, some place that you there when you're training, that you're gonna feel more and more comfortable because is your position that you put yourself to be comfortable. You don't need a position to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that varies for each person, right? Some people like to be at the guard, some people like to be there.
Right.
Some people like to be a boss, some people like to be on top.
Yeah.
So it's kind of so more you train, more you're gonna feel yourself in that position, more you're gonna feel comfortable and more complete stuff. So this is that. Basically that, It's kind of
you have to have a chance to explore these things.
Yeah,
right?
I felt like I got my black belt in 1996, and if I go back today, 1996, I didn't know nothing. Compared to today,
Right.
I know just a lot more today.
Yeah.
My head is a lot more, and even training, I feel confident in a lot more position than 1996. It was no deep half guard.
Yeah.
There was no X guard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if the X guard is a position more modern, and it's up 50 moves from there, I can do 1 or 2. And I feel confident that I know how to do it and do 1 or 2. Deep half guard, same thing. Because it's something that you have to learn somehow, or find a way to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a very
Evolving sport.
it is.
Who's your favorite guys who are competing right now? Like the guys at the top.
Right now?
Yeah. Who do you like gaming the most?
Let me see. Right now,
Good question.
jiu-jitsu, right? Sport jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people doing all kinds of stuff now, right?
There's so many competitions.
So much respect for.
So Bruno is Bonfacino is one I always like to see competing. He's like so
Amazing,
talented and fast and
Amazing.
strong for his weight.
Yeah.
There's a new kid from Australia.
Levi Jones.
Levi
What
Jones.
lightweight this year
He beat Lucas.
European and the Pan Am, he's amazing, man.
Yeah,
He's
it's
really
incredible.
sick competing.
He's
very powerful.
His Bello is ridiculous.
Yeah, very powerful, very I like a lot the Meneghetti. I like
Super
Kino
nice
Cornelius,
guy,
no fellas lapel stuff because I always being like to play lapels.
Me and Casey love this game.
I always like to play lapels. I always open my mind lapels. Before even people show me, I was like being
Start playing with it. Yeah.
playing and try to
Tie some people
tie the
up.
guy up there. I'll always be open my mic there, always.
Yeah, nice.
And what he's doing is amazing. Like he put himself there.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's it. You know. Oh, and the new kid, he came to my camera last August. O Michael Galvão.
Oh wow, yeah. He's doing
It was
some.
like a incredible
amazing
set
things,
kid,
yeah.
man. Like when he came to my camera, he was still green belt. He got a new belt now.
Right.
And
He's destroying everyone. Right? Yeah. So impressive.
Caique was saying
Yeah,
that
Caique's
people are like
well,
doing a petition, he shouldn't be a blue belt anymore.
Yeah.
so the kid trained live. He and his brother.
Mm.
You know, it was like I said, man, wow. I don't know why this sport man did because, you know,
Amazing, yeah.
just female right now, man. There's so many good girls with children.
So many.
So good, like so, you know, BMX kids like wow, man, just like precise, you know, like
Yeah.
you know. So there's a lot of guys here, you know, but overall in my life, the best one I saw in competition was Roger.
Mm.
You know,
I mean,
Roger, what he did.
he kind
you
of
know,
proved that he is up. He's kind of
Yeah.
the greatest of all time.
I saw live, you know,
Such a match.
the year that he won the Worlds, you know, his division and the Open.
Mm.
He did like I think 9 fights and submit everybody from the mount position. I was there live and I was like, you know,
Even that little detail you showed actually, with the whole head movement of that hand.
you know, he's like a,
So good.
yeah, he's so good. But because I'm old school custom grace, my friend,
Yeah.
you know, and I believe that, okay, for me, if I was to say a name overall, that I have to include jiu-jitsu parts, sport jiu-jitsu, MMA, you know, and no-gi jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So if I think about that I saw fighting, you know, I wanna say Murilo Bustamante,
Wow, yeah.
Royer,
Legend.
and
Oily.
lately, these days, o Demer, Maia e o Jacaré.
Yeah.
Because they prove jiu-jitsu, man, like, you know, in MMA, they won
They
Abu
won the
Dhabi,
worlds, yeah.
they won with gi, no gi, they won MMA, man, they be successful. Because we saw the guys very good gi, not too good MMA, some
Yeah,
guys very
not
good
too good no
gi,
gi,
not
yeah.
good no gi,
Yeah.
you see that guys good no gi, don't do gi,
Right.
you see this all the time,
Yeah, like Gordon
Just
Ryan
that.
and those guys, right?
Just that.
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan is amazing, but I don't believe if gi is gonna win. You know, I
No,
think
yeah.
he can go the top head there, but I think
This guy, no,
That's some-
he has his plan, but he is
Yeah,
not
exactly,
part of his
exactly.
plan, right?
you know, his weight, I know his weight to do, but Muhammad, everybody, he can do a tough, of course, but to win a world championship, let's see, you know.
Right.
Today I don't see that, but no give for being one Abu definitely,
Mm.
you know. And same thing about MMA, it's a bunch of names there in jiu-jitsu, man, all the time.
Yep.
You know, and some names, I mean, was a spectacular in jiu-jitsu that went to MMA, my friend. Didn't survive 1 fight, 2 fights, 3 fights. You know.
Damien says,
They
Damien
got-
Meyer in an interview said he's got jiu-jitsu, he's got his own style, jiu-jitsu for MMA, which he feels like that's why he's been successful in kind of becoming
Yeah, the truth is like, to be honest too, like, you know, the rules created on these days is not benefit for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I mean, so let's be honest, okay. Of course, people know jiu-jitsu today, everybody know, everybody train, it's different from the old times that people didn't know too much,
Mm.
okay, about jiu-jitsu, so it's easy to, you know, do the
Surprise you
basics,
with stuff,
and the rules now.
Yeah.
You know, 5 minutes, 3 hours, 5 minutes. So when you just need time to block it, to control. You know, that's how ball is, man.
Yeah.
Put the guy down, then you hold. No, you wait for the right gap, and got to defend, and you suffer the submission.
Right.
You can do that without throw a punch. You know, back in the time,
Yeah.
back in the years, many guys, won, Action Casa came in LA when people come to challenge you. Some guys come with a lot of respect. They want to try and see if it really works. Some guys have no respect. But Casa also guys, you can do anything. You can punch, you can kick, you can do anything. They just want to block you and make it that.
Yeah.
And you have to do this way. So, but today the rule is different. Though. There's one kid I like a lot today is o Bronx, o Charles the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
No, Charles the Bronx, jiu-jitsu, amazing guy, jiu-jitsu, and I was like, wow. You know what I'm talking about, right? Charles the Bronx, UFC guy.
UFC guy.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
The Bronx, Charles the Bronx. He's a kid, skinny kid.
Skinny kid, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Right,
He's-
he's
yeah,
very
he's-
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check him out.
Yeah, he's very good.
Awesome.
And he presents just very well. And like, oh,
Well, yeah, well, we got a current UFC champion who's on the VJ Revolution.
Yep.
Dustin
yeah,
Poirier.
Dustin training with my big student and my best friends that did jiu-jitsu, you know, like
Who's the head of that gym?
yeah, he's that Tim's doing like a
Tim
amazing
Criddle,
work.
right? He's
Incredible,
yeah.
amazing work in Lafayette area, man. They have like 5 gyms in Louisiana,
current UFC champion.
and
Oh.
Tim fought too. You know,
Yeah.
Tim fought about a bunch of MMA fights. I think 7 UFC, 1 man. You know, like he's amazing. The best guy did, man. Always been very good. Always
Nice.
been.
So cool.
Tim is for the time frame, and like same time as Glenn Ramirez.
He's one of your black belts?
Yep.
Yep. Right.
I'm Dustin training for him. You know, this guy's black belt for him.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a good documentary about him, if you haven't seen, called Fightville.
Fight good.
Yeah,
Tim's
so
there.
that-
Tim's there.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim's on it, right? Yeah, exactly.
This guy. So this is you know, like I actually don't see too much, man. The surfer, I don't have time to see it. You know, I use it like
Yeah.
you know, I see when someone interesting to see, you know, is fighting.
Yeah.
But I don't see too much. I like to see Holloway a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's so good.
And his last fights was very interesting, like you know, and
That was a crazy fight, yeah.
for Dustin, fight before too, you know. I
Yeah,
was
he's
like,
had some massive fights recently,
yeah,
right?
I like to see Khabib, like you know, let's see. I like the division, I like a lot. There's a lot of talent guys right there.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of good guys there, man. It's a lot of good guys.
And the lightweight is
There's so
stacked,
many
right?
that, man, like, you know, it's not a level now because they fight the game, right? 5 rounds, they boom, 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 boom.
Mm,
It's very technical right now.
right.
But their rules for jiu-jitsu is hard.
Yeah.
To finish a guy in 5 minutes and today is really hard, man.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to see.
Everyone knows enough that they can kind of shut down
Yeah.
the game enough, right? That they can survive it, and then it's, you know,
It's
back
tiring
on
as
standing
well.
or whatever, right?
Right.
Because you've got so many other elements other
Yeah.
than jiu-jitsu. Like
Yeah.
you said, you've got the punching, the kicking, everything.
Everyone's so accurate now at that level. Like the accuracy of the striking takes a lot of stuff out of play, right?
Yeah.
Just never miss, just punching you in the face for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like to see someone like come back, bring him back. I know it's almost impossible. It's really hard to fit a TV program or sell the show.
Mm.
But make it like 10 minutes round straight, you know, like, you know, whatever, you know. Then like
The Eddie Bravo, there's no gi, right?
He doesn't
They have the longer
CJJ,
rounds.
that's cool.
Yeah. The Eddie Bravo rules.
Combat jiu-jitsu.
But
Yeah.
yeah. But with the gi, it'd be
It's
cool,
tough,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Stuff, and what Eddie Bravo show did was exactly what we did on in Castle Grace. I came back in the 80s, you know, the called Taparia open hands training. So I said, I go to the floor, man, open hands all day.
Self-defense,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Bro.
Did you ever do that in Epic?
Sometimes we did, but not very often.
We did it in London a lot actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilson would get us to put on
Yeah.
gloves.
That's old school.
Yeah.
That's basically the way I trained my whole life there, you know, like so I trained crossing even when I trained Victor, that's the way, you know, we can block and train, you know. Someone punch, you have to block and they go in and boom, and they got just punch, you just block, you know, they gotta use the gloves, go to the floor, doing guard, you get punch all day, you have to block,
Yeah.
block.
Or try to get back to your feet or
Yeah.
whatever.
Then the gloves are getting smaller, then it's making it hard to block the guy with the gloves, and the transition to like before it's like bare hands
Oh yeah.
to the gloves.
Yeah.
So we lose a lot of juice there because you know a lot of
Yeah,
times
really hard to grip on.
it's hard, man, to grip. It's hard to go through. So it's hard, you know, the glove cannot block you to some entrance. You know,
Yeah.
it's easy. Guy hold the glove to defend
Yeah,
it.
like
it's
cheating
one more thing to
inside and
defend
stuff.
it,
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. I understand that, you know, it's part of the progress of the sport. Now people have to create rules and make new stuff. But I like the old school, man. I like it. I still, we still go into to watch the old stuff.
Right.
When still bare hands and people fight no limits.
There's
you know.
some great fights back then.
Yeah, you know. Actually, I have my phone here, a bunch of pictures of CrossFit training for on the 50s with Ivan Gomes. He's one of the toughest opponents he had.
Mm.
And they trained together at one point, and a journalist in Rio took picture of them training. And this picture was just released like a few months ago. Someone sent to me, I had my phone, amazing picture, like crazy, you know. And back that time, you know, of course, you know, today's stuff a lot, very tough for the level of the athletes. So back in that time, you know, man, there's no rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No rules.
Yeah.
You know, the rules are you couldn't bite, you couldn't poke the eyes,
Yeah.
you can't grab the guy balls. That's it.
That's the
Everything else you could do.
I remember,
1,
yeah.
2, no rounds.
Just until you
Fight
finish.
until you win.
Yeah.
3, most of the time they fought in the concrete.
There wasn't even weight divisions, right?
No way.
Yeah.
Actually,
Where he, like.
what division is still doing?
Yeah.
They still create the division today, these days.
Yeah.
But they find a conquer.
Right.
I asked Crash one time, what's the worst thing you had? And I broke my hand in a fight. And I was like,
Yes.
shit. We mount the guy, so they got back and punched the floor. Break like a 4 bones on his. You know, I think I'm on 1 year to recover. He's in like a.
Especially not wearing gloves, man.
Yeah,
no gloves. And because of that,
Yeah.
Crash was the creator of the, use this,
Right. Yeah, so
So-
now they get a lot of pressure
Yeah,
off this.
and that was a, if I fight in the street, you punch someone, you get, with that high, you can break a
Bring
finger.
your hand straight away.
Easy.
You still see in the UFC
Still, yeah.
now with the gloves even, right? The guys who hit really hard are always breaking their hands.
Use that part here, man. You can sit in the wall. If you push the wall like this, with a bare hand, you're gonna break it. If you go like this, you can go really strong and not gonna hurt too much. So Crash they want to create this, boom, boom,
You see,
boom.
so the guys use this now in the combat jiu-jitsu, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, that power,
Knowledge,
man.
yeah.
That power, it can hurt you
Super.
so bad.
Yeah.
So, that's it, guys.
Okay.
Man, so much stuff. It's all
Yeah, amazing.
We definitely need a part 2 for sure.
Yeah, next time we're here.
For
We're gonna go karaoke next week anyway. Definitely.
There you go.
I'm gonna see it. Congratulations to this guy, Ollie Graham, brown belt. Well done.
Well deserved.
Well done to all the other guys that got their belts.
Yeah.
Close it off, Junior. Leave it with you.
Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram.
Spotify, all that, Soundcloud.
Yeah.
A big thank you again, Rodrigo. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Really appreciate it, Professor.
Ollie,
It
thank
was
you
a
for coming.
pleasure to come back to Hong Kong, man, to be part of the, the history of jiu-jitsu here. That's this country is amazing, man. I had a great time here with my family. Made great friends for life, and it's all about this, And see the sport growing here, it make me very proud. After I closed, you opened the 2 small gyms, Shanghai BJJ and GSF, it's really nice. It's really nice to see the sport growing here. And like I said, I was a bunch of academies, in like Hong Kong now,
15 places.
and Asia
Yeah,
too.
sure, yeah.
Asia too,
All over, right?
Taiwan, Macau,
Thailand, Phuket, right?
Thailand, and everywhere. Everywhere. Japan's already pretty big.
China, actually.
Australia.
And Shanghai, actually I went to Shanghai on Wednesday.
Nice.
Be ready, Shanghai.
Cool. Alright, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Guys, thank you.
Was